Hey Maximizers, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Crystal and this is one of my vulnerable videos. This is my April 2019 debt update, okay? So when I started talking about my finances and my debt, I believe it was February, and I showed you guys my debt. I think I had over $17,000 in debt and I'm looking to pay it off. And I have fallen off the wagon for a couple months. So it is the end of April and I just want to share with you just my debt numbers. I will do a whole budget update which should be coming out tomorrow, if not later today. So that will be separate, but I wanted to talk about the debt a little bit on its own just because it has been a pain point in my life for years, okay? I'm going to flip the camera around in a few minutes and show you my updated debt totals and let you know what I've done good, what I've done bad, and where I am in this whole snowball, okay? So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about my debt and how I'm repaying it, just keep on watching. So I have had credit cards since I turned 18 and I didn't really know the lay of the land of how they worked, and I'm not going to get too into it, but just know that like I've been struggling to pay off my credit card debt continuously since I got my first credit card about 11 years ago. I got my first credit card when I was freshly 18, and then I think between the time I was 18 and 20 I ended up with like 4 or 5 credit cards between store credit cards and things of that nature. So I've been carrying debt since college on top of everything else that I have debt-wise. So it's been a pain point in my life and something I've been wanting to do. More recently, I've been wanting to buy a house in the next year or two, and this debt is just looming over me, and I feel like it's suffocating me to a certain degree, and I just had this anxiety to pay it off faster. But every month I get into a place where either I pay just the minimum payments and a little bit of snowball, or I use a credit card. And I did good. I went a long time without using credit cards, and then things happen. So let's get into April specifically. I'm going to flip my camera around and I'm going to show you guys my debt total, which you probably see in the description box or the thumbnail already. That it did increase from last month, and there's a couple reasons for that. So I'm going to flip the camera around, show you my debt. It's in a happy planner, using stickers from Shay's Budget shop. My full April budget setup is here as well, so you can check that out if you're interested. So anyway, I'm going to show you everything, and I'm going to talk you through what I did good and what I did bad, okay? Okay, Maximizers, you should be able to see this, and this is my debt tracker that I set up in my April budget video. You'll see here's all of my starting balances, my minimum payment or payment amounts, and then you'll see the date that I paid it, okay? So, let's talk about what happened. So, in April, I went out of town, and like I told you guys, whenever I go out of town, I make sure I put a chunk of money onto my credit cards so that I can rent a car, get a hotel, and all that good stuff, right? So, I did that, and that was fine. I had a chunk of money set aside for my trip, and I went over that amount, not necessarily on credit cards, but just other places. And I'm saying that to tell you a reason why you're going to see some of these numbers gone up. So, I did not spend anything on J. Crew. That balance went down. So the remaining balance on J. Crew right now is $341.45. Credit One increased significantly. As you can see, it increased like over $200. That's because they gave me a credit line increase, and then I had some things that I needed to pay for. So I went ahead and I used that credit card to pay for those things. And something I did not want to do, but I found myself doing it in a bind. So, I mean, I guess that's what the credit cards are here for, but not when you have as much debt as me and you have like a lot of it. So that's what happened with Credit One. So I got a credit increase and I used almost all that credit increase to buy some things that I needed. Nothing extravagant, but it was things that I definitely couldn't do without. And because I went over on my trip budget, that took away from like, you know, the extra excess funds that I had, because I used that on my trip, so that I had to use a credit card to get everything else. My collections bill went down. I only have 2 more payments for collections. So May and June, I'm probably going to call them to see what my balance is and to see if I can just pay it off and be done with it in May, because I think that'll really help me. So that's going to be my goal for May, is for collections specifically, is to call them, check my balance, and see if they'll let me settle and pay and close it out. New York and Company changed a little bit, but I actually did go shopping. I only spent like $30 because I had a huge gift card. But in order to use not a gift card, I had a huge reward from shopping when I went shopping for my birthday in February. And in order to use it, you have to use your card. So I spent about $30 on there. But I got like over $200 worth of stuff. So yay to me, because I had coupons and that reward. So it made it worth my while. Now, Best Buy, I had to pay for my yearly Geek Squad membership, and I almost forgot about it. So that I used on my Best Buy credit card. So that is why my Best Buy credit card increased, because I needed to pay for that Geek Squad membership, and I definitely need that. So I'm going to make sure that for 2020, I keep a list of all of my yearly subscriptions and have a fund for them, so when they come around, it won't be a shock, and I have the cash set aside for it. Buy Power went down, no issues there. Express, I didn't shop, but it went up $1. So I think it has to do with just the interest and how it laid out, but I don't know how. I started at 108 and ended at 109. Weird. I don't know. Not going to question it. Victoria's Secret actually went down, which is good. Didn't use that. Discover only went down about $3. The thing about paying the minimum payments is that the interest is killer. Quicksilver, that is the card that I used for my trip, so my balance is going to be like around the same, because I put $315 on there for the trip and I spent pretty much all of that. That is why my balance is only $4 difference from my starting. Rooms to Go, this is my one card that has 0 interest for 3 years, and I'm on the plan to pay it off within 3 years, doing the $60 per month, so that went down. Affirm is my bed that I financed, and that will be paid off in December. So I pay the monthly payment of $154. It does include interest, but it's already packed into it, so it doesn't accrue daily like the credit cards. So that balances down to $1,246.86. Macy's is going down. I still only pay the minimum payment, but that went down like a good $30, so movement there. Then my First Financial credit card, that is a closed credit card, but it still accrues interest. I was on a payment plan, like a loan, interest reducing plan that gave me reduced interest and a reduced monthly payment, which I've probably been on that kind of program for like over 2 years, because the interest on this credit card is sky high. When I say sky high, sky high. So as a result, they told me that this was like my last payment plan. So now I'm back into the big girl leagues. And when you see my budget setup, you're going to see how much of a payment I need to pay. And I've also been looking at the interest to see how much of my payment goes to interest. And I may need to readjust how I pay that, because it's just, I'm not chipping away at the balance at all, because the interest is so high and it's really killing me. And it sucks because it's a closed credit card, and I just feel like I'm literally wasting time and wasting money and losing money essentially by not being able to put more money towards that card. So that's something I will relook at, okay? So that is all of my remaining balances. Now, I tallied those all up just to let you know the starting balance that I started with at the beginning of April was $16,966.76. And then as of April 29th, my total is back up to $17,000. I'm at $17,008.99. That's a $42.23 increase, okay? Now, what am I going to do with this? So the point is not to sit in your mess. My point is to do something about my mess. So my main, debt goal, I'm going to start setting debt goals as well, is going to be to specifically just not use a card. Under no circumstances do I use a credit card. If I don't have it in cash, I'm not using it. That's going to be my goal for May, just to not use a credit card. I will admit that I did use my Walmart credit card because I had one like 5 years ago, and when you don't use it, they will cut it off. They will close your account. So I bought like my shelf, my business items. I bought it with the Walmart credit card, and I'm just going to pay that off ASAP. But I did that only because I wanted to keep that card active because I haven't used it in 4 months. So I'm thinking every couple months I'll use it and just pay it back. I had the money in cash for my business expenses from when I got paid from YouTube and such. So I'll be able to pay that back no problem. But in the month of May, I don't want to use any credit cards, and I want to try to pay off that collections to help free up that $100 per month to be used for a multitude of different things. So the point of this is to not sit in this mess and to make an actionable plan, okay? So I don't have much space here, but step number 1 for me in this plan is going to be no credit card use in May. And I'm writing this here because I need to write it where the mess is. And when I flip back to this and I look back to this, I'll be able to see, gosh darn it, like, it was rough. It was rough. And I need this number to get down. I mean, I need to see it go down by at least $200 because I think this, we're not chipping away at it. I'm not making any sort of dent in it when I'm right back up to $17,000. Not as much as I was in March. Let's see. In March, we ended with $17,166. So I'm only $160 difference when I could have been a little bit further. So I just know for myself personally, I have to do better. So my number 1 thing is no credit card use. My second thing is going to be to try to pay off the collections. And that'll free up $100 that I can either snowball, save, use it for a rainy day fund. But that $100 from my budget will definitely help. So that'll obviously be freed up in June because I'm going to use that $100 and a little bit extra to try to get that paid off in May. Okay. So this is my debt update. I always feel vulnerable in these videos because it's not common. It's not been common to share your numbers. But as a millennial, personally, I think it's very important to be transparent because it helps hold me accountable because I know I have to get on camera and talk to you guys. And then it also allows me to help someone because I have $17,000 in debt outside of student loans. Someone else may have more. Or it could be motivation to someone who has once had $17,000, but now they're down to $5,000, or now they're debt free, and they can see like, wow, I've come a long way because that was me, 5 years ago or last year, but I was able to dig myself out of it. So I feel super vulnerable when I do these videos, but I think it's so important for myself and for everyone else for me to just show you where I'm at and let you know my mess and let you know that the debt journey is not going to be perfect. There's going to be hiccups along the way. I know I can absolutely be doing better. So I'm going to challenge myself to do better. And I think if I do these 2 things, I can at least I'll see a decrease in my debt for sure because I'll have that collections paid off. So that'll give me my $200 decrease that I'm looking for. And then I also want to try to throw a little extra on something. And I will figure that out. When I do the May budget setup, maybe I'll figure out how I want to allocate everything and try to continue to do my snowball because I don't think I paid a snowball to J. Crew this month, just with everything that was going on and going over budget for my trip. And I went over budget a lot this month overall. So yeah, but anyway, this is just about debt. So anyways, in conclusion, in closing, I'm going to do these 2 things to try to pull myself out and to perpetuate myself to have a better year and try to overall pay down at least $5,000 worth of debt. Now, I thought I could pay down $10,000 this year, but at this point with the rate that I'm going, if I can just pay down $5,000, I think that'll be a huge feat for me. It will be even amazing if I can get down to $10,000 or less. So I guess that'll be a challenge to myself. So there's a lot of time left in the year. We have so much time left and so much opportunity. So I just wanted to share with you guys my debt update. Comment down below where you are in your debt journey. Do you still have a lot of debt? Is your debt paid off? Do you have more consumer debt or do you have student loan debt? And just for anyone who's wondering, I won't start talking about my student loans again until October because that's when I have to start paying them off again. Right now, they're in forbearance. It is a lot of them. So I needed some time to clear my head and get everything else together without having to pay student loans. In May, going to be better. gonna not accumulate and add to any, not gonna create any new debts, not going to use any credit cards, and we're going to pay off our collections. So that is our goal and our focus for the month of May. All right. That's it, Maximizers, for my April 2019 debt update. I hope this helps you. I hope this helps someone because, frankly, I am determined to pay off this debt. And I know that if you're in debt like me, or if you were once in debt like me, that there is light at the end of the tunnel and we can get through this. Now, I did not work on my debt snowball at all this month. So in May, that'll be the goal, to pay down the collection. So that way in June, we'll have money to debt snowball, okay? If you guys have any questions, please comment those down below. On the screen, you're going to see my April 2019 Maximizer update. I launched a Patreon community, so check out that video, join the community, get some more in your Maximizer and your couponing life, okay? If you have any questions, of course, comment those down below. As always, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.